5 sets. We're gonna start off kind of light and then we're gonna work our way up. So let's get started. I'm only gonna do around 5 to 7 reps each set. I wanna go a little bit heavy today and see how much I can do. I'm in a cut, so I'm not able to lift as heavy as normally. The gym is like a playground for adults, and when you come here, you gotta compartmentalize. You don't think about anything else except for making sure your form's good, getting in a good workout, and getting some stress relief. So life is tough, and the gym is supposed to be fun. When I start putting 45s on each side, I'll wear a belt. It helps me keep my stiffness, and it ensures that I don't get hurt when I'm lifting heavy. Also, when I'm squatting, I usually either take my shoes off or try and get weightlifting shoes. So when you're squatting, you want to make sure that you're pushing off with your heels. So if I exaggerate, when I'm squatting, I'm putting a lot of my weight on my heels. Sorry. So I'm straight and I'm up. A lot of weight on the heels. Also, another important thing is consistency. So you want to make sure that you work out on a consistent basis for a long period of time. Ideally, you want to make sure that you're working out for the rest of your life consistently. And it's not about how much effort you put in to one session. You can put in 200% of your effort, but if you only do it once, it's not going to be useful. You want to have consistent effort over long periods of time, and that's exactly when you'll be able to see physical differences, energy level differences, and just be overall, it will improve how you live your life daily. And to be honest, not every session is 100% for me. And sometimes I feel really bad and I don't want to go to the gym, but I go anyway and I make sure that I get it done. And this builds good habits. So over time, you want to make sure that you're being consistent and you're developing this healthy lifestyle over the rest of your life. Alright, so we're going to try and hit 200-pound squat for 4 reps. When I'm lifting heavy, I try and take a rest of around 1 minute to 2 minutes in between. Make sure that I'm good for the next set. So when I go really heavy, it's sometimes really hard to get lower.
Well, it's like this.
But you keep trying and eventually you'll get to the weight that you want to get to. It's the best summer shredding that I've ever done. I have never had as many abs as I do at this moment. Alright, so we're done with squats. Next we're going to get into deadlifts, and this is by far my favorite exercise. I don't do any competitions, weightlifting or bodybuilding. This is just a passion of mine, and I'm so excited to share deadlifting with you guys. Alright, before we start, I have 2 accessories that I really like. So I use these to help me lift because your forearms usually give out in deadlifting before your back does, and so in order to take your forearms out of the lifting equation, I use these straps. And then again, the belt. Also, when you're deadlifting, make sure to take off any rings. I've never seen this happen in the gym, but I've seen this happen in the workplace, and stuff can get caught on rings. And then next thing you know it, you're without a finger.
Disgusting!
The sumo, I think I can lift heavier. When I started off lifting, I started off with the standard deadlift position, But as years went by, I tried new positions, and sumo is the one that helps me lift the most, and so that's the one that I choose. Again, for the deadlift, I'm going to try and go a little heavy, and so I'm only going to do the 4 to 6 range. Make sure your back is super straight. This exercise can get really dangerous if you're lifting heavy and your form sucks. So make sure that you try and get your form on point. The weight doesn't really matter, it's the form and consistency over time.
Yummy!
Alright, so just got back from the gym, and now I'm gonna have my first meal of the day. Today is gonna be a big day. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm really happy I got my workout out of the way. Here you saw I got half a pizza, half of my plate is filled with salad, and then I've got this 0-calorie Zivia drink. The reason why I like Zivia is because it's naturally sweetened with stevia, so the sugary flavor comes from the stevia leaf. And then I also find that because right now I'm dieting, I have to really do proportion control, but I also love to eat. And so what I do is I count my calories, and I make sure that I'm filling up on salad so that I can eat what I want, but I make sure that it's proportioned correctly. And another technique to suppress eating more would be to use hot sauce. So I love Tabasco, and so I usually put that on anything. So pizza, salad, pasta, just anything. Alright, so while I eat, I'm going to answer a few questions that a lot of people ask me. And so the first one I'm going to talk about is how to maintain my abs year long while eating what I want. In order to do this, you have to know a few things about your own body. So you have to, one, know what your basal metabolic rate, so that's your BMR. I explained this in another video, but I'll quickly explain it here, and if you want more detail, you can go check out that video that I'll be linking in the description below. And so, one, you need to know how many calories you burn at rest. So this is what your BMR is. And then you need to understand what weight your body likes to sit at and what weight you can go to until you don't see any abs anymore or you don't have a flat stomach, and what weight you like to be at, for example, at summer. So I have 3 different weights that I like to be at. So when it's wintertime and I'm pushing a lot of weight, I like to be around 125 to 130. If I don't go up to 130, I can maintain 125 year round. And then for summer, in order to see better abs, to see more of the bottom parts of my abs, which is the last thing you see when you're dieting, it's the last area of fat that goes away, I need to get below the 120s. So in the summer, I can be around 115 to 118. And so This takes a lot of practice to understand what your body likes to sit at and what you need to be at in terms of body fat and weight to look a certain way. So you need to understand which 3 weights, so your winter weight, your summer weight, and your maintenance weight, and what your calories should be every day to maintain or to bulk or to lean down. It's important to understand this, and that's why when people ask me, oh, what's the quick fix? There is no quick fix. You need to understand your body. You need to understand what works for you. And then when you can do this, you can control your weight year round for the rest of your life. All right, and the second question I want to talk about is overeating. So a lot of people tell me, oh man, I can't count my calories. I love to eat. I'm always overeating. I don't know when to stop eating. This is a problem even I face. And I read this paper online when I was looking up different dieting tricks, and I came across this paper that talked about overeating. And it said that when we're younger, our parents usually force us to finish our plate because they don't want us to waste food. This is a good concept, but then when you think about it, you're actually forcing yourself to eat more than what you need, and you're forcing yourself to eat more than what makes you feel full. And so if we do this for a long period of time, it becomes habit. Essentially, when we're eating more than what we need, we're training ourselves not to listen to our bodies. And it's important when trying to maintain a certain physique and trying to be healthy is to understand what your body needs. And when you're full, well, you should stop eating. And then if you have stuff left over, just take it home, eat it later, or give it to someone else. And when I read this paper, I thought to myself, oh man, that's so true. There are 2 aspects of my life where I eat the most. One, when I'm stressed, and second, in social situations. So if you go out to a restaurant with your friends, or you go to a friend's house and they have a lot of food and it's really good, you want to eat it. And you tend to eat more than what you need. I have to tell myself that there is no scarcity. I don't need to eat to gorge myself, to eat too much. I can take some home and I can eat some later. Psychologically, it helps me not to overeat. I also have a video that goes into detail about how to do macro control and calorie control. And I use this technique year round to help me maintain a certain physique. So in my notebook, I put everything that I need to do. So this weekend, or every Saturday and every Sunday, I run Coco. And then today's priorities were workout plus the video. Then I need to do my data analytics assignment. Then I have a presentation that I also need to fix and complete. And then I want to play basketball. And so this is my list. And now if we do priorities, this is priority. Priority. This is because I'm going to make time for this when I've done enough of my assignment and my presentation. And so I've set my priorities, and now I have to think about how long each thing will take. So usually when I run my dog, after feeding her and everything, usually takes about an hour if I do 4.5 kilometers. And then working out, if I didn't do the video at the same time, it would have taken an hour and a half, but usually takes double that time if I try and film at the same time. So 3 hours. And then this data analytics assignment, it's going to take hours. But today, I want to dedicate 4 hours to this. And sometimes when you do something, you can't know in advance how long it's going to take you. So you have to do a little bit of it to figure out how long it will actually take you. And this is when you're doing something new or you're learning something new. And then this presentation, going to take maybe again around 4 hours, and this will be 2 hours. All of this may not be enough for today. I'll figure out a way to stagger it between today and tomorrow after I've seen how much I could accomplish today. I find that this is the best way to be productive. I have a video on this which I'll be linking below, and that exact technique that I use in that video I use every day. Another question that people usually ask me, what do you do when you start feeling demotivated, or when you start getting frustrated because you're learning something new and you feel like you're not getting any better, you're not progressing? I also get these feelings. I get them all the time. Whenever I try to learn something new, I'm the type of person that wants to go really quick. I want to learn it now, I want to be good at it now, and I want to apply it now. But usually this doesn't happen. It's like that saying, easy come, easy go. And if it was easy enough to learn, then probably a lot of people know it, and then it's not a unique talent. But if you want to be a master at some specific skill or talent, it's going to take time. And the reason why it takes time is because it's something worth having. And so if you create your priority list and you figure out what is important for you, and every day you work towards getting to that certain goal or certain skill or certain talent, you'll eventually get there. And the point is to be better than yesterday. As long as you know one thing or half a thing or a quarter of a thing more than you did yesterday, you're progressing. Think about it as, are you better than you were yesterday? Are you closer to where you want to be today? And if the answer is yes, then there's no reason to feel demotivated. Everything takes time. And if we stop comparing ourselves to other people, and if we just start thinking about whether we're better than yesterday, you'll hardly ever get demotivated because you're better than you were yesterday. What my suggestion would be is, one, just ask yourself whether you are better than yesterday. Second, don't compare yourself to other people, because there will be always someone better than you. Back in high school, I had one of the top university grades. I felt so good. My confidence was so high. I thought I was the best of the best. And then when I went to university, I was surrounded by the best of the best. And then I was no longer the best. Actually, I was quite mediocre. And then I felt depressed because a large part of me was judging myself on my intelligence. When I was surrounded by the best of the best, it took a toll on how confident I was about my intelligence. And so I really had to retrain my brain to not compare myself to other people, to kind of just compare myself to myself. Was I better than yesterday? Am I getting closer to where I want to be? And are decisions I'm making today help me get towards where I want to be? And if the answer to all of those questions is yes, then you should be happy, and you shouldn't feel demotivated because you're better than you were yesterday. I talk about this in one of my videos in the Thinker series that I'll link below as well, and it's patience. As we get older and older, it becomes harder and harder to dedicate time to learning a new skill or to obtaining a new talent. And after a certain age or after school is done, we tend to be comfortable in where we are, and so we kind of stop learning. And so we stop learning, and then when we're not happy, instead of changing it and learning something new, we tend to complain about it. And then it's this vicious cycle of doing something that you don't like, and then finding a way to put a band-aid on it, whether it's going out or doing things that are not helping you change the thing you don't like. And so the best way to do this is through patience and through giving yourself enough time. It doesn't matter how old you are, and it doesn't matter where you are. This matters if today you're doing something to help you get to where you want to be, and you're being patient. And so an analogy that I like to use is, for example, we put a lot of confidence in doctors. And the reason why we do this is because we think that they're intelligent and that they've mastered the area that they're in. How did they get there? Well, being a doctor, you gotta go get your bachelor's degree, then you gotta go to med school. Then after med school, you go work in a hospital and you do your training, and then etc., etc. There's so much training. There's everything they learned in school, and then there's a special school that they need to go to in order to become a doctor, and then they have to train under some doctors, and then if they want to specialize, go back to school. It's this continuous learning, and they do this for years and years. So I tell myself, whenever I want to learn something new, if it takes a doctor 10 years to master their skill to a point where people can trust them and they've mastered that area, why am I complaining about 3 months of not understanding something or of learning something and trying it out? If it takes 10 years for them to do this and master that, it's going to take me a long time to also master a certain skill or talent. And so it's important to give yourself enough time and to be patient. You'll get there. It just takes time, and every day you make the right steps to get there. It's around 7 o'clock, we did a few hours of work, and now we have about an hour until the sun goes down, and we're gonna play some basketball. Whoa! Mangush!
Tiens, je vais aller sur YouTube, moi. On va se mettre.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
Back from basketball, showered, prepared everything to eat for dinner, and I'm going to show you what we're eating right here. It looks so delicious. Alright, here we've got some asparagus with some bell peppers, 100 grams of sirloin steak, 150 grams of sweet potato. So the sweet potato is kind of like French fries for me, but the healthier version. They're not fried. We put a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, and I'm not going to count it, and also some diced garlic. And this, I swear, is better than McDonald's French fries or any French fries you can get from a fast food place. This is so delicious. I'm so hungry and I'm excited to eat it. Okay, so we're pairing this meal again with a Zivia. So this is the Mountain Dew one, and yesterday we had it and it was delicious. And so I really don't know how Zivia makes such good drinks. This video is not sponsored by them. I truly do like this drink, and it's actually from Los Angeles, California. Before basketball, I was able to finish about a third of my data analytics assignment, and so I'm going to try and get another third of that finished this evening, so I'll be 2/3 done. And then tomorrow I'm going to work on my presentation and the editing portion of this video, and also I wanted to film a calisthenics workout outside. So another question I get often is how to work out when you don't have money to pay for a gym. And there's a ton of stuff you can do outside, and tomorrow I'm going to film something about working out outside. Oh yeah, so on steak, one of the best sauces for steak is mustard, especially the mustard with the seeds in it. So that's what we'll put here. This is like 5 calories per teaspoon. Maybe I'll put like 2 teaspoons. I won't measure it. It's okay. So I want to do more videos like this where I kind of show you guys what I eat. You can switch out things that are not good for you for things that are good for you but are similar, so you get that satisfaction from what you're eating. So instead of having deep fried fries, you can have oven baked sweet potato fries. Instead of having oil drenched vegetables, you can have steamed vegetables, boiled vegetables. Instead of having an oily burger, you can have clean cuts of meat. And then also, instead of having a Coke that has a ton of sugar in it, that will give you this peak of energy and then this very fast crash after, you can have drinks that are naturally sweetened with, for example, the stevia leaf. So like Zivia. And there are a ton of healthy alternatives that taste just as good as any fast food place, if not better, and give you sustainable energy throughout the day. So when I eat this meal, I don't feel bloated after, I don't feel heavy, I don't feel gross, and I have sustainable energy for me to be productive the whole day. And once you eat healthy, I'm telling you, you never go back. Alright, so we're finished with that meal, and then I'm gonna finish the other half of the oatmeal cookie Halo Top ice cream that I saved from this afternoon. If we look at everything in MyFitnessPal, oh yeah, and also before going to basketball, I had a piece of toast with a bit of peanut butter, some bananas, and a bit of this dark chocolate chocolate chip cookie thing that I got from Whole Foods. I gotta show you this. It's really cool. Okay. So this Lily's dark chocolate is 55% pure chocolate. There's no sugar added. No sugar added. And instead of sugar, they again put stevia, so it's kind of like this stevia drink. And they're vegan, non-GMO, etc., etc. And then the best thing about it is that for about 7 grams of this, there's 25 calories. And so I like to put this on... I like to put a bit of peanut butter, so organic, pure peanut butter, no additives in it, with on top of a whole grain bun. So it's this organic 21 whole grain thing. Yeah. So I take this piece of bread, I put like 7 grams of peanut butter on it, then like 30 grams of bananas on it, and then I put some of this chocolate on it, and then I drank that with a smoothie. So I put some frozen berries with that green powder that I showed you guys earlier, and some almond milk. So the almond milk was also unsweetened, so it's super low calories. And then I had that before I went to basketball. Basketball for me was like my 3rd cardio session for the day, so I just added a little bit more calories to give me some energy to play basketball. So if we just go back to the calories, so after my pizza lunch today, and then my steak dinner, and then my toast snack, the calories for today, oh yeah, I don't really count the asparagus or the bell peppers. I didn't put too much of it, so the calories are not very high, and I didn't really feel like weighing it. The biggest things that I usually weigh are the meats and any high carb item like the sweet potato that needs to be measured. Any salad and asparagus and that type of stuff. If I don't put too much of the asparagus, I don't weigh it. Okay, so the calories for today were 1,507 calories, and then the macro breakdown was 189 grams of carbs, 61 grams of fat, and 84 grams of protein. So usually on the weekend, I like to make different stuff and I like to mix it up. So sometimes my protein is a little bit on the lower side, and then my carbs and my fat are a little bit higher. And just as long as stay around 1,200, 1,300 calories. But because today I did an extra cardio session, I just ate a little bit more to give me energy throughout that. And so yeah, that ends the day. And then I'm gonna get my ice cream, go back to work and finish another 1/3 of my assignment. I'll be on track to finishing everything I set out for myself this weekend. Alright, and I'm done eating for the day. It's around 10:15. It's pretty late. I usually don't eat this late, but we came back from basketball a little bit late, and so I'm gonna get back to work. If you like the content of the video, like and subscribe below, and let me know in the comment section what exactly you liked. Right now, I'm gonna go and finish my assignment. I'll be doing another video on my review of Udacity's data analytics program. So right now I'm doing term number 2 and I'm on the 2nd assignment. Actually, you could have picked your own data set, but I picked the red wine data set. And essentially what I want to do with this program is allow myself to make more data-driven decisions. And so in the first term, we learned about Python and Jupyter Notebook and using a ton of different libraries to do some data analytics. And then in the second term, they introduced R, which is a very common language for data scientists. And right now, I'm using R in RStudio to analyze a red wine data set. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. And so have a good night, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.